Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbena heb lena min ledunke rahme ve heyyi lena min emrina raşeda. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli. Ve ceal li veziran min ehli Harun ahi üştüd bihi ezri ve eşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Ve sallallahu ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etbahi ve sellem. Velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Now, we have been studying Ma'un for some weeks. There are very interesting words which have the meaning only within the context of the Quran, not in daily, now and then, Arabic language. That time, when the revelation first received by the Prophet, the word may have some meaning, but it doesn't mean that Quran meant that meaning. That is the confusion usually we encounter. We have to be careful. If someone comes up with an explanation, with a meaning to the word of the Quran and says that, look, that time the Arab population used this word with this meaning, the Bedouins used this word with this meaning, the poets used this word with this meaning, may be related, but not necessarily what the Quran means by using this word. We keep repeating this principle. The concepts of the Quran, I am saying concepts, we usually study the concepts. The concepts of the Quran usually are related to the general purposes of the Quran. What does it mean? General purposes of the speech of the Creator. Why does the Creator speak to me? Creator obviously doesn't speak to me to teach Arabic language, alaykum salam. To teach me Arabic language. But the Quran says, I am in Arabic. Yeah, it is in Arabic, grammar-wise. Yeah, it's Arabic language-wise. It is not really Arabic, if you like, as it is used commonly by the people. As far as the purpose of the Quran is concerned, the concepts of the Quran. Concepts of the Quran must be understood within the definition or purposes of the speech of God. Why God speaks to beings to teach what? Definitely, if you speak to someone, you mean to teach something to these people. So, one of the words that we now encounter here, although we discussed this last week, saying that the chapter, although short, but there is a sudden change in the subject. Sudden change in the subject, which means, sudden change means, the previous verses was speaking about denying the religion and pushing away the orphan, not really encouraging himself and the others, herself and others, to take care of the needs of the needy ones. Yeah. It means do all this, and suddenly it comes, sudden change of the subject. Well, then to those who pray. Oh, am I doing something wrong? when I pray. Yeah. So let me give you a technical detail which is necessary here and mostly missed from the attention of the people. The original language doesn't say فَوَيْلٌ فِي الْمُصَلِّينَ. Rather, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Sorry, لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. No, it was wrong. It was wrong. I concentrated something else. The second verse, الَّذِي هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. It means who are heedless of their prayer, not who are heedless in their prayer. Mostly you hear that you are praying, but you don't know what you are doing. No, nothing to do with it. It is nothing to do with in your prayer, in their prayer, but from their prayer. Now, that is a technical information. But if you say, we have been hearing from the people that I do, or some people it may be me, of course, perform my prayer without realizing what I am doing in my prayer. And I will say, no, it has nothing to do with this. Yeah. So, because it is obvious from the language, we don't have to know the Arabic grammar in detail. So it is an salatim, from their prayer. Now it means why they are doing the prayer. So they don't know what the prayer is. Yeah, what the prayer is. So we mentioned before that when this chapter was revealed, it was the second year of the revelation. No one knew what prayer is, as we understand now. Another technical information, in the Quran, the prayer is used in two forms, in three forms actually. Useless activities which are done in the name of religion, or just praise somebody and asking for blessing for somebody. That is another meaning. But the word we understand from prayer, salah, in Arabic, as we understand now, is used iqamatul prayer. Iqamah, establishment of the prayer as a ritual. So here, not iqamatul prayer. So it has nothing to do with ritual. So when the Quran ordered the followers, perform your prayer as you see the Prophet practicing it, this prayer is ritualistic prayer, and it is mentioned, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ. They establish their prayer, it means they establish their ritual. Now, here it is not. Yeah, but that is technical. These are technical. I don't like technical information. But it is necessary because people say, oh, it is, we will see some word in the Quran which doesn't mean prayer at all as we understand it, or performance of or estimate of one's prayer. It means ritualistic prayer. So the word has many meanings. Salah. You said this, yeah.
Yeah, I guess my question is that because fully understanding that we do not want to understand the word very literally, in
Yeah, we can.
in this particular context.
Not only in this
No, I
particular
mean in the
context, in the
Quranic context.
revelation.
Yes.
If you read any scripture which claims to be revealed by God, you cannot read the revelation scripturally because, sorry, literally. Let me interrupt you if you don't mind, but keep it. It is very important. Why we cannot read, for example, while you are studying, let's say medicine, a medical book, you have to read it literally. You are studying mathematics, you have to read the mathematics books literally. Maybe law book literally, again literally, but you interpret it. But if it is a constitution, it needs to be interpreted now, because laws are time and space located, but constitution is not. Constitution has to be somehow long-standing. So it means, according to the change of the conditions, constitution must be open for interpretation. But you cannot really straight away interpret the law, but you have to interpret the constitution. Constitution is very concise. Let's say 10 pages. American Constitution is not more than 15 pages, most of them amendments. But with this, out of these 15 pages, how many volumes of law books have been produced? They are all driven from the Constitution. So long-lasting text must be open to interpretation. Otherwise, if it is not open to interpretation, it will speak in physical terms, but the life, the existence is not fixed physically. So it changes, your condition changes. The outside world changes. The application of this word or practice change. So it must be flexible. It must be open to interpretation. So any scripture which is attributed to, refer to God who is speaking in the scripture, it is not like the law. Although Torah means law, but it is just literal meaning of the word. But the Quran is not law. It includes some principles, some prescriptions about the practical side of the world, but again, in general, especially its understanding or its teaching of the general principles must be open. Must be open for interpretation. So that is why we cannot read any text if it is long-lasting, if it is open to every society, open to every community, every status of human beings. Quran doesn't make a distinction between, now I'm going to speak to intelligent people, educated people, but those people who are not who have not received education at a high level, they don't benefit from it. No, it speaks to very literate men. It speaks to, at the same time, very highly educated person. No one is excluded. And also it speaks to the people, let's say, let's talk about Torah conditions, 3,500 years ago, and it is still speaking to human beings now. Everything changed. But it must be open for application of any kind of life conditions at any level of human capacity. Got it? So that's why it must be open. But when it means, it doesn't mean that when it is open to interpretation, it means you can just twist it any way you like. No, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent while you are interpreting the text. within the ultimate purpose of the text, what it establishes. So if you don't have the general picture about the content of the Quran, and if you don't realize what is the ultimate purpose of the speech in this text, what is it? Who is speaking? And why is he or it, she is speaking? If you have to have these answers beforehand in your mind in order to interpret the text, according to the ultimate purposes of the Quran, you can interpret it. You cannot interpret it arbitrarily. Arbitrary means without taking notice of the ultimate purpose of the Quran or the speech of God. Why is he speaking to you? These are inevitable principles of reading the Quran or trying to benefit from the Quran. Otherwise, you cannot benefit from the Quran. You just repeat your hearings that you heard from other people. Just keep repeating. And it doesn't be anything new. It doesn't really guide you. You just become a parrot or imitator or chimpanzee imitating by others, imitating the others. Yes, sir. Sorry, it was a long.
It's worth it. So, because of what you've said, you cannot read anything or the Quran literally. And because of that, earlier you said that the word pray or prayer has three different maybe use cases or definition.
At least three.
At least three,
Yeah.
right? So the challenge that arises for me is that one, it leaves open to my, I wouldn't just use the word interpretation, but also frame of mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And second, it also means ideally it should be the definition of maybe the word prayer, and
another
if it's
word,
applicable to prayer, it could be any other word.
Zakat, give it to charity.
Yeah.
Or fasting. What
And
is fasting?
absolutely.
Everybody keeps talking about fasting because Ramadan is approaching, as if they sort of all other things. Yeah.
So theoretically, this logic could apply for absolutely any other word in this scripture.
Yes.
Which means that the word itself, when used, did not have a specific intention behind it. If it did, then I don't think one word should have vastly different meanings. If the meanings are around the same contextual purpose, intention as you defined it, it makes sense. It would align. But if the meanings are completely different, and I'm going to use the three examples that you gave, at least two stood out to be very different. One where you said prayer is used to be some form of like mindless activity or some sort of action.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Maybe, right? On the other hand,
we'll talk about it a lot. It is more related to our real life.
And on the other hand, it is the exact opposite, where prayer is everything but being mindless. It's being mindful, acknowledging, confirming, presenting your conclusions. So, and I don't think I feel comfortable saying that, oh, because this was released, like this revelation came at a time where people were, I don't know, whatever, like they did not know what prayer was and they had their own way of prayer. So that's what this refers to now. And like over time, when people had a better understanding, now the same word means something very different.
No, but there's a skip of language or better understanding. It's not better understanding, but better understanding of the purpose of the Quran, purpose of the speech of God.
Yeah.
So you can develop it accordingly. You can interpret the words as you need it within the conditions of your, if you like, whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are.
So I guess, yeah, my concern is that how can that work? Because let's say over a period of time you've understood that this is what prayer means, and you read this verse again. Are you saying
Not
that you cannot?
necessarily
Yeah.
so static. No, I couldn't explain it. Not so. Last century prayer was prayer meant this. This century prayer changed. No, no, no. In this sense, according to life conditions, prayer means for you, according to life conditions, within, again, I have to keep repeating the word, within the general, ultimate purposes of the speech of the Creator to human beings. Why does He bother to speak to me? So that all the different meanings have a common ground. If you really notice that, I will try, God willing, to give different examples of the prayer in our life and the meaning attached to this word, then you will understand that. Think about it, although the applications are different, but the common ground, they have a common ground the same. So applications are different, but it doesn't mean that they are totally irrelevant to each other. If you remind me, while we are studying some meanings of prayer here, why God says, wow, then to those who pray, why does He say that? What? I mean, it's better than nothing, isn't it? Praying? But what do you mean by prayer? No. So they have a common ground. It is not arbitrary. Okay. Again, within the context of it, it's a specific environment of the word used. For example, here, wow, then to those who pray, it means I may be doing something that the Creator says, oh, pity on you. Wail, W, isn't it? Wail on which one? W or V? No, wail upon somebody. Anyway, I don't know the word. It means I don't know how to use it. Okay, not this word. Okay, I am confusing. So, why does He blame now? For example, if someone comes to you, as far as the classical meaning, or not the classical really, the meaning we understand now when we say prayer, I'm going to pray. What do you mean? I'm going to perform the ritualistic activity. Yes? So if someone says that, no, but I'm praying, but my mind wanders everywhere. Is it really worth it? We said, no, don't worry. You start from here. It will develop. You will get better and better, but just carry on. It means even the worst case of consciousness about prayer, being conscious of what you are doing, the worst scenario, still we say, no, it's better than nothing. But the Quran says, whoa, to those who pray. Oh, something is wrong. So only we have to understand this. Of course, in the following verse, not the following, the second following verse, verse 6, those who do things only to be seen by others. It means riya in Arabic. Riya means just for ostentatious activity, to show off to others. In your prayer, you do prayer, but you don't really mean it. You pretend to be religious and get a status within a certain society. No, nothing to do with it. We said, look, an salati, not fi salati. From their prayer, they are not aware of what they are doing, not in their prayer what they are doing. What is the purpose of this action? They are not aware of it. Now let's come to this. If we are done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the meaning of the root word for salah means to support something, right? To support something. For example, if what the classical example of this is, so if I put something into something, like this, push like this. Oh, I need you, man. Push like this. It means support. But this mean, let's talk about this meaning. Let's put it in this translation. Wow, then to those who support. Support of what? What are you supporting in your life? What are you supporting? No, it can be what? Supporting a political party, supporting an ideology, supporting, fashion, following it, yeah, supporting a political team, yeah, possible.
What's to say, like supporting a particular lifestyle?
Supporting a particular lifestyle, yes, supporting values of particular civilization. So it means, yeah, you may be supporting something, and this verse says, hey, you may be doing something wrong. Are you aware of what are you supporting? Yeah. For example, now let's say a team, let's say a volleyball team, or I don't know, tennis team, or whatever. Okay, football team. You support. Be careful now. Why are you supporting this team?
You like them.
But it
Why?
belong to you.
Sorry?
It belong to you.
Belong to you?
Like belong. Like you feel like it's close to you.
So why not another one? Why not another one? Another team. They play also the same thing. Now, الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون, they do this without realizing why. Just maybe from the high school or middle school tradition group, student gang, they are supporters of this team. I don't know the names, Eagles or so. I hear sometimes, yeah, Pro Eagle. So they say, so you join there, and from there you develop it. You don't know why are you doing it. What is the value for your life, for the purpose of your life? What brings you something valuable, virtue to your life by supporting that particular team? Now, what is that? Have you thought? So we support a lot of things. We support fashion, certain fashion. How? Without realizing why are we? I mean, no one is wearing, so don't misunderstand, as far as I can see, torn off trousers.
Good day to not wear that.
Why? Why do you do that? But everybody wears it. That's what your reason. You don't know what are you doing? For what reason? Right? You don't know. I don't know. Why are we? So the time comes, especially the boys, have a certain haircut, certain type. And 6 months later, they started. Why? Because everybody does this. Because everybody does this is your life aim. So we don't know. We are like herds following a shepherd's dog. What? That's why God says, wow, to you. You don't know what you are doing. Are you living for this? Hmm. And who are the second in the slide? Who are years of their support? Why did I do? I don't know. The following verse, those who do things only to be seen by others, to fit into the society, they will say, oh, it is not a stranger. Follow the fashion, not to alienate yourself from the society. For what? Are you a puppet? Mm, mm. Now, I am a human being. I am my free will. But you don't have your free will. You already gave up your free will to others' free will. Oh, I think there is something interesting here. Just to go with the flow. Why? So it needs determination. Yeah. It means resolution. It means your own made decision to do that. Otherwise, wow on to you. And that the Quran says. Right? So it makes sense from one perspective. Another perspective, the same root word has also some people who may use Arabic or maybe in Urdu, in Turkish, also Sla. Sla means where you aim at. Uslat means uslat, reaching the destination. Sila comes from the same word again, reaching the destination. Destination is what? Your ultimate aim of your life. So if you really are careful about your destination, where you are going, be careful. Whatever you are supporting, whether it is worth for your aim of life, destination, you want to reach there, this point. For example, following a team, let's say football team. What is your destination? What is your aim there to follow this one? What are you going to get any benefit from it? Somebody smiling, no personal and say judgment passing. You follow this team, you see. So what is your destination? No, people shouldn't feel that. So you have to think, where am I supposed to reach? If you don't know the aim, it means, what am I going to gain from it? It means, I don't know what I'm doing. What is the purpose of my life? I don't know. Just follow the herd. Yeah, go with the flow. Yura'un, it means to be seen by others. It means really hypocrisy. Riya is hypocrisy. So just to show off. So we mostly support a lifestyle. For example, I don't know, or furnishing the house, the way we dress, the way we act, the way we speak. So these are just to show of others that no, I am like you. I'm not different from you. To show them, oh, without realizing what they're doing. I said this word is really has lots of deep meaning in it. Why God says this wow to you? Why he says, wow, come on, you are a human being. You have the free will. So you have to think about yourself, your existence, your future. Why am I living in this world? You have your feelings, you have your emotions, you have your reason. Why don't you use that? Why am I doing this? Yeah, I am just a puppet in the hands of others, or do I make my own decisions and try to understand what I am doing, why I am doing that thing? Think of yourself. Your life is very precious. Not every human being's life is very precious. We know that it is a temporary place here. We are trained here. We are educated here. We are given the opportunity to develop our human senses, our human capacity, develop and become aware of what I am doing in this world. What is the purpose in my existence? Why do I exist in this world? What is the meaning of being a rational being? Thinking, what is the meaning of having a free will? No, it's a big responsibility, isn't it? It's a big responsibility. If we don't think what we are doing, just for the sake of others, to follow family tradition, to follow the tradition of the tribe you belong to, or race you belong to. Yeah, something X, I don't know, whatever you say, a nation, say a nation, name of a nation. Now let's say Pakistani people. Is there any person from Pakistan here? So hope there is not. So that I'm going to give a better example. So I do this because we Pakistani people in Pakistan, we do things in this way. Why? Because we do things in this way. Why? Because we do things in this way. Is it correct? Have you decided that this is the right thing for me to do? That is really dangerous. We have to think about it. So, yeah.
So the word here focusing on salah, right? Prayer and
No, not prayer.
no.
But the prayer is later on. Because when you say prayer now, it means the people understand prayer what? 5 times a day, ritualistic activity. And it's nothing to do with it because there was no prayer that time when this verse was revealed.
So then I guess there's a lot of lacking in just pray, right? Which is what is being emphasized, right? Like, or heedless in their prayer. Like, prayer alone isn't enough to do the thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to do, right?
No. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Whatever we do is our prayer. Not there is a prayer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us. No, it's nothing to do with it. Because there was no prayer established that time at all. Nothing.
I'm not talking about
Okay,
that.
leave this one. What I am aiming at, what I am supporting, what is the destination that I want to reach in this world? It means ultimate purpose of your life.
Right. So I mean, I don't know where the time that was revealed about the worship, right?
Later than this one.
So
That's out.
So he was saying to, the
But
purpose.
we were here, my friend, when the Quran established the prayer as we understand now, 5 daily prayer, the language changes. Iqamatus salah, aqimus salah. Establish the ritualistic prayer in this aqimus salah. It has nothing to do with the meaning here. Okay.
So worship, like that, does that have more like implications? Meaning like that if you are worshiping, then you are not being heedless.
Not being?
Heedless. You know, like
No.
Does worship alone?
Excuse me. Worship means your ultimate aim. It means you really mean it. If you don't mean it,
basically, like what I mean to say is that here, instead of saying "woe then to those who worship,"
no,
he's not saying that, right? So, what is like? I think maybe finding the distinction between worship and pray alone will help me understand like what are these things that we want to really be, you know, ultimate goal, because we know that there's like a difference in the language of the two words there.
No.
I don't know what the word is exactly for worship.
So, فَعْبُدُوا in the Quran, اعبدوا الله. Yeah, in the Quran. So worship means ibadah. But this is support. This is either support or try to reach the aim. What is your aim? Now, it is a negative thing because the Quran says wail. Wailun. The Quran says wailun. It means wow to you. It means you are not aware of what you are doing. If you do something without aware of doing that, it is not worship. Worship means establishing your ultimate aim or your ultimate purpose of your life. So, for example, the ultimate purpose of your life is reaching the ultimate aim, which is making your life for the purpose it has been given to you. But I'm not saying the people pray, they don't have this understanding, etc. So I think you are not coming to this class the first time. I've seen you on many occasions. So we have to be aware that the purpose of this class is establish the foundations of our purpose of life here. Why do we live in this world? For me. Everybody says for me. So my ultimate purpose of my life is my worship. Now, it must be somehow consciously decided. For example, if I say, I am going to follow wherever I am, the civilization or society, they have their values, I am just following it. That is my ultimate aim of living in this world. It means you are worshiping that. Now, the Quran says you do something without realizing why you are doing it. This context says, but be careful, watch out. And the last verse will come and it will say, refuse even the small kindness. It means the utensils, this kind of things they say, but no. Ma'un means small kindness, something very minor. It means for the purpose of your life, you can pay attention. You should pay, not can. You should pay attention to the detail, the smallest part of it, even whether it fits your purpose or not. Now, you are driving a car and one part of the car doesn't work. What happens? It doesn't run. One part doesn't run. Everything must be according to the ultimate purpose of the existence of the car, which means to run and take you from one place to another. If something, the smallest thing in it, doesn't work, let's say something, I don't know the technical words for car, I don't know, anything, doesn't work and the engine doesn't start. For example, your starter is disconnected somehow in somebody. You cannot start the car. If you cannot start the car, it doesn't go. It's a small thing, ma'un, right? But it is a very extremely simplistic way of understanding that a neighbor comes to you and said, "Oh, I have run out of the salt. Can I have a spoonful of salt?" I say, "No, I don't want to give it to you." Why? Why should I give my salt to you? They interpret it in this way. Usually, in practical terms, it includes in it, but never sufficient meaning, because in your purpose of your life, you have to pay attention to the details. For example, we see that in the teachings of the Quran, if you speak to somebody, and the Prophet says, look at him in a sympathetic way. Say salam. No, don't declare war. Declare peace between you in your behavior. Small. So, for example, using one word in your communication with others, indicating the purpose of your life, is a simple thing. One word, salam, assalamu alaikum. Yeah, or may Allah be pleased with you. Something very simple. All must be geared into the purpose of your life. Now, these words really, this section, I said this, I keep reading this chapter. Most of you who pray read this chapter in almost every day in your life, at least once or twice. But when you read this, you just start trembling by saying very simple, what am I doing in my life? Oh, I don't take notes of anything in my life. Just follow without realizing why. The biggest purpose, even the minute matter in my life is not taken care of. But it says, وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ, woe to you, who refuse even the small thing. Just say, smile at a person. The Prophet advises, smile at a person. Yeah. Just a very thing. This typical example is nature. You must know it. You must have heard of it. If you see somebody needs support, and just be sympathetic to it, and caress his head like this. Oh, I love you, man. That's it. Why? This must be fitting within the ultimate purpose of your life. It must be within it. Why do you do that? As some people say, I do this in order to be regarded or no, don't go there. I'm sorry. I started in the wrong way. In order to satisfy myself that I am a nice man. I am being very nice to everyone. So when you see someone says, "Oh, good morning," not that is okay. It's not bad, but what is the purpose in doing that? Are you fulfilling the purpose of your life to be a nice person, in order to feel good in yourself, or do the same action in order to fulfill another purpose? It's completely different. It may be, for example, that is feeling. I am just giving a detailed explanation for this. The feeling is given to me by the one who created me. And this feeling encourages me to be kind to other creatures, not only to other human beings, not only to your neighbors in your neighborhood, to even a cat, a dog, or even a fly. Be kind to it. Don't angry with it when it is flying and coming and landing on your hand, for example. Why? The fly is there to fulfill its purpose because it has to go and look for food. So it came here. Why are you angry with a creature who is fulfilling its purpose of life? Why do you get angry? So you have to be kind to the fly. For example, that is what ma'un is. Small kindness is translated here. That's what ma'un. So we have to really be aware of whatever we are doing in our life. Otherwise, pity on us. Really, shame on us. We are wasting our time without realizing what we are doing. I said, this is very frightening. Why? Not it is because it is difficult. No. It may be difficult because I don't pay attention to it. Otherwise, consistent within your own self is not difficult. When you are hungry, eat nice food is difficult. Oh, I check myself. It is the best thing I feel I'm doing. I'm hungry. It's a nice food. It's not difficult because it is consistent with my being as a human being. It doesn't contradict me. So anything that my creator offers me should not contradict my human capacity, human qualities. Should not. But if you think that, there is a requirement as far as the religious requirements are concerned, that it is really hard for me to do. No, there's something wrong. Either your own understanding of the religious concept or religious duty is wrong, or you have distorted your character. Check both. We don't know. It's an individual case. Everybody should decide about it. Am I having a distorted purpose for my life, or am I understanding what this source tells me to do? So if you, for example, simple example, if you feel that praying is a burden for you, and if you don't pray, now I'm not using this prayer here that we are studying today here. No, the prayer, ritualistic prayer, let's make it, let's call it in a different word. Ritualistic prayer. If I think that it is really hard to, or really burden somehow, you are not happy within yourself when you perform the prayer, or when you feel that you have to do it, definitely something is wrong. It shouldn't. Can you imagine an engineer makes, a computer engineer makes this computer and asks it to perform a function which doesn't fit the computer? Can you imagine? Did I make it clear? It's impossible. Why? It doesn't fit. It is conditions. It must be within these conditions. So for example, if the engineer of this computer puts a key button here, which doesn't function according to the program of the computer, what happens? Either spoils the computer or it doesn't work, because it is not within its capacity as it was made, or it is made. Now, can you imagine, by definition, religion must be what? The guidance, the instruction of the one who created me, made me. right? Do you imagine, can you imagine that there is a way for my maker to ask me to do something which doesn't fit my capacity as it was created by him? It would be a contradiction for the one who says, I am your creator and I am asking you to do this. It is not my fault, it is his fault. Whoever me, whoever is speaking in the Quran or in the Bible, depending on your culture or tradition. Do you understand that? That's why we have to put human expectations, our human capacity in front of the Quran. If well, majority of the people are here familiar with the Quran, so in front of the Quran is in a way that, be careful here, it is very controversial subject anyway among some people, taking your human capacity and understanding the text according to your human capacity. Now, if you think you understood the Quran in the right way, but it doesn't fit you, what is left? You distorted yourself. You spoiled yourself. For example, I have to give a very simple example. Now, the computer has a program. Nothing wrong with the program, okay? But I took one of the keys, which is the case, some of my keys don't work. So I spoiled it because something happened and the water went there and it rusted. It doesn't communicate, okay? So it doesn't have the connection, electrical power connection. So I do it, I press on it, it doesn't function. Do you think that it is wrong, something wrong with the program, or it is wrong with the material side, the computer machine itself? Which one? It's obvious, isn't it? So if by definition, I'm saying, by definition, if the text says something that I am, claims that I am the speech of your creator in order to give you guidance how to use yourself in this world. And when I receive this guidance and my human machine, it's a bad example, but doesn't function. What does it mean? My machine is wrong. That's why I understand that, hey, when the Quran says here, a person or whatever, the reader, wow on you, if you either support, if you either have an ultimate aim, destination for your life, which is twisted, corrupted, wrong. Yeah, you made it wrong without realizing, because you don't think about it. Taken for granted, for example, taken for granted to follow the societal values. Correct? Taken for granted what is fashion in the culture where I am brought, where I am raised, without realizing. That's my culture, we say. For taking for granted. Have you thought that it's right or wrong? No. If you don't, if you have not. So when you read the text doesn't fit. Then you say, oh no, I cannot do it now. No, because it doesn't really fit. It means you have already spoiled something. These verses are just reminding us which kind of values, which kind of purposes for your life, which kind of criterion for your life you have. Have you thought about it? Do they really make sense to you? Do they really make sense to you? Are you aware of what you are doing? Why are you doing? Have you thought about it? Now, if we have lots of biases, prejudices in our life without realizing, taken for granted values. Look, those people who come to this class know that I'm not a very religious man. But sometimes I'm very irrespectful of religion when it doesn't make sense to me as it is presented to me. I say, no, that's it. I have some sort of critical mind always. So even in the name of religion, I heard something. If I imitate it, imitatively accept it, it means I spoiled my nature. When I read the text really, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Why? I already spoiled myself. This is even religion, but mostly maybe traditional understanding of religion, maybe traditional understanding of life in the society that you are grown. You have certain cultural background and you condition yourself within this cultural background, especially family tradition. Shapes. As a child, you are innocent. You go ahead with the family tradition without realizing. But when you grow up, it is time to say, in our family, we do this. Is it really correct? We understand this. Is it really correct for me? That's what these verses are telling me. Right? So, did we get it? I think we covered most of. Yeah.
So, as far as the last line goes, and refuse small kindness,
Yeah.
I actually have two questions. Why use kindness here?
But Mao is not kindness, really. Very small details, very small things that you can easily do it. For example, is it difficult for you when you see somebody smiling? That's it. That's the Mao.
So, is it okay?
It was kindness, means according to your nature, it must be positive thing to do for you. It shouldn't be a burden. It shouldn't go against your how to say factory settings. Yeah, factory settings must be appropriate according to the teachings of the one who set you while he is making you or producing you. It means the creator of the universe.
So, if I understand kindness to be the least amount of, I won't even use the word effort, but the least amount
Okay,
of
this effort is good. Yeah,
required to act in accordance with my nature,
that's very good words actually.
then in that, if that's the case, then refusal here, if I try to understand what it means to refuse such a thing,
Not to do it.
well, you also need to know why you're refusing it, right?
That is read the previous ones.
And I was going there. So
Yeah.
when I look at verse 5 and 6 in this particular instance,
Yeah, 5 and 6.
yeah, heedlessness to me stands out to be very different from to be seen by others. They're two complete different in motives or reasoning as to why one would do something. For example, I can say I'm following, not a good example. Let's say I'm doing something because I'm mindless of it.
Yeah,
And
unconsciously following it.
unconsciously following it. On the other hand, I'm doing something completely consciously doing it because I follow a particular trend or for whatever reason, but I'm doing it knowingly. So refusal in this instance, like you said, the previous verses mentioned, can tiptoe between any of these two reasonings, mindlessness or unconsciously deciding something, and on the other hand, completely consciously following the wrong motive or the wrong
Yeah.
reasoning or something.
Now, but that apparently seems to be the case. But look at now. As you were speaking, I said, what is the reason behind? The reason is this. We should understand that in every action, we have our free will functioning. But one cannot be unconscious without using his free will. Why? If I don't use my free will to decide, it means that is my free will not to decide. Got it? So being unconscious is not out of control. It means I say, okay, whatever life brings to me, I will just go along with it. But I wouldn't think about it. It's my choice. I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't deliberately question the legitimacy of what I'm doing. For example, somebody is unconscious. I mean, not like sleeping. You do something while you are sleeping, it means you are not using your free will. But while you are living in this world without being fainted or without sleeping, it means everything you do is a result of your usage of free will. So you cannot say, oh, I never thought about it. No, excuse me, not to think about it is your free choice. Because you said, okay, I'll take it easy. I'm not going to be really very fussy about everything. So it means that's my choice. Accordingly, I develop my capacity, my ability, accordingly. So the human beings have no excuses that, oh, I didn't know. Now, as far as practical side of religion, you may not know it. That is why you may not doing it. That is okay. Do you understand what I mean? Now, for example, you didn't know that in the Quran you are asked to do something, and you didn't know it. So, belief and belief matters do not depend on knowledge. I have read an interesting narration from the companion of the Prophet, so the friends of the Prophet, saying that, look, if it is something to do with action, you must learn it. Yeah, it is something you must learn it. Learning. Yeah, learning. If it is something to do with the belief, the word changes, especially something to do with the Quran, the word changes. Instead of learning, the word is fahm. It means understanding. Now, if you don't know something and that is why you are doing it, it is not something to do with belief. It is okay. You learn it and you correct yourself. But if you choose not to learn it in order to avoid the responsibility of doing something, understand? Then this is your choice not to learn. But without deciding, really being aware of it, you did something which is wrong according to the religious requirements. It means fiqh rules, okay, practical side of religion. That is okay, but not deliberately choosing not to learn. That is also choice. But you didn't mean it at all, but you didn't know for any reason, because we don't know everything. But when it comes to the Quran, the word is used in the language of the companions, the friends of the Prophet, not learning, understanding, fahm. Oh, what does it mean? Your realization. The fame is your realization, your conscious deliberation on the topic. But if you say, I am a Muslim, I believe in Islamic tradition, okay, and the Quran is there, which is, and all Muslims know that the Quran is not the speech of Muhammad or somebody else. Quran is there any Muslim in the world doesn't know that Quran claims to be the word of God? Is there? Can you imagine a person in the Muslim world? Even the non-Muslims say the Muslims claim that the Quran is the word of God. But I don't believe it is not. That is their choice. But still word of God. Right? Everybody knows that the word of God, the speech of God in the form of a book available for you, what have you done with it? Now, it means you have received the text message from your creator. You know that, it says, I'm your creator, I'm sending this message to you. What do? Can you ignore it? Can you ignore even the very the trivial matter sent by a friend to your, I don't know this, inbox or WhatsApp. So the message, don't you check? The very trivial matter. Let's say a person who's not serious at all keeps telling you something, irrelevant. Still you look at it, don't you? How about the guidance speech of your creator? Every time in front of you, in your inbox, the message is there. How much do we pay attention to it? To understand. But don't say some people cannot use their mind. I'm not speaking to them. We are speaking here between us. All of you at this college or university graduates. You know how to think about the text you receive. We have no excuse. So don't say that ordinary people cannot really read the Quran in order to understand it. They don't know how to think about it. They just read it. They don't try to understand, but read it, right? So the Quran must be studied and understood. It means we have to make an effort. So if we ignore it, ignore the speech of the Creator, but pay attention to even the very insignificant message we receive from a friend or from somebody, how can you describe yourself? Now we don't pay attention to the speech of God, so that we will go into the details of the message that we will learn. It means, I don't know, the Quran is a choice. It's a choice, not for a child, not for an illiterate person who cannot do anything else, but for me. You can judge about yourself. It is a choice that I'm not paying attention to it. So that we are not really communicating with my creator. But some of us, maybe most of us, maybe all of us, as far as my thought of you, well, all of us are very careful about praying. We don't want to miss prayer. Okay. That's good. That's not bad. But we are very careful about praying. But even more essential is to pay attention to what your Creator is saying to you now. Why don't we study the Quran? I'm not saying you are not studying the Quran, but why don't we really try to understand layer by layer, everybody, no one learns everything at once. So you, for example, you want to become an engineer, let's say, computer engineer. As soon as you register yourself, enroll yourself with the engineer department of a university, do you become an engineer? It's obvious. What you do, you are a freshman, you take 101 classes and go and further 204, 335, this kind of, gradually. And then at the end you become an engineer. But you have to get the 101 classes first in order to understand the Quran. Of course, this is the beginning. Don't say that, for example, if a person wants to become an engineer, computer engineer, so he said, I want to become an engineer, but I know nothing of it. What do you say to this man? Of course you don't know. It's quite normal, but you have to start. Isn't that so obvious? So we say, I don't really understand the Quran. I know nothing of it. Just follow what the shuyukh says or imam says. Just follow them. So I don't want to take a course which gradually develops, which means start from here, and then another stage you're going to read the Quran first as a rough understanding. At least when you read the Quran, at least you get a general understanding of the general concepts of the Quran. There are such things in the Quran. Okay, I don't understand. Of course, you are a first-year student. Quite normal. You don't understand the Quran. Quite normal. But if you never start taking first step, you will never reach the second step, third step. Impossible. But unfortunately, we are very careful. For example, there are lots of, I see, preparations, shoppings, invitations for Ramadan. Yeah? We have time for it. We spend time for it. Not bad. Okay. It means if you want, you can do something. Why don't you do something in understanding the Quran? But I'm not blaming you. You are here. I think you know that we are studying the Quran here. That's why you are here. But check yourself. Check yourself. Do I make a special personal effort to understand the Quran? Yeah, you are coming here. Okay, it's once a week, 1 hour or hour and a half. That's it. Of course, if you really agree with what is said here, it is difficult. Whatever we say here, do you agree with me? Those people who follow, almost hard to digest, against what you hear, mostly contradictory to what you hear. Do you think?
In alignment with what our reality is.
Yeah, it is also to me, if something doesn't address my human qualities, I don't pay attention to it or try to understand why. For example, why do I pray? Why do I fast? Is it really? But what one person may say, depending on the person, one person may say, I fast because God asked me to fast. Why do you think God is a stupid guy? Asking you to do something doesn't make sense to you? Yeah, we said it should make sense within my own human capacity. Okay, what sense did it make to you when you fast? Just obeying the order? Excuse me, are you heard? Obeying the order of the shepherd? You are a human being. You have to use your free will. So this kind of questioning and reasoning is necessary. Excuse me, we are now. Now, look, another usage of the, do you have this? Following.
Yep.
835. Yeah. Now, can you read the originals of the, we will hear the Quranic word.
وما كان صلاتهم عند البيت إلا مكاء وتصدية فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون.
Now, the translation, I think somebody should read it. No one knows English. Tarek, don't you know?
The prayers before the house are nothing but whistling and clapping of hands. Taste then the chastisement.
The chastisement. I think chastisement.
As an outcome of your denial of the truth.
Now, you see, you can perform. You can think that you are performing salat. Yeah? But this salat means nothing but persistent denial of the truth. Possible, eh? Now, another usage of the word salah in the Quran. Something nonsense. Denial. So we have to check, what am I supporting? What am I doing? Huh? I say salah, but the salah means also, I didn't say that. Salah also means prayer, asking for blessing. For example, here, we will come here. Take it another one. Okay, this one?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Don't you have it?
Do you
I have another one here, 157.
Nope, this is the last one.
So let me read it. It is in my thing, but you don't have it, huh? Do you have it?
No.
No. Maybe I add it later on. أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وإليك هم المهتدون. Now, the translation is, I will read it because it is only available in front of me. These will be given blessings and mercy, salawat and rahmah. Salawat is the blessing here. From their Lord, and it is they who are rightly guided. It means rightly guided will be receiving blessings from God. In this word, blessing means here, again, not the means, sorry, blessing meaning. The word is used, salah, plural of salah is salawat. Right? That means also, that comes from the same root word. Right? But it is unfortunately, it is not there. So that comes from the same word again. It means salat has many different meaning in the usage of the Quran. So The one primarily we study today is the very early usage of the Quran in the salat, the word salat, early usage of the word salat. So later on, it means when I say I am doing something according to the Quran, which is said with the same word, salah, it doesn't mean that necessarily one thing. It may be denial of the truth. It may be blessing. It may be supporting something without realizing what you are doing, right? It may really be blamed by the Creator what you are doing in the name of Salah. Do you understand? Depending on the context. Why is it important to realize this? I hope we will understand that everything we do in this world, that is the conclusion. I think it's time is up. That's the conclusion. Everything we do in this world with the aim, in order to support, in order to reach the ultimate aim. That is what we do in order to reach the ultimate aim. We are responsible for it. That is my salah. I'm using the Arabic word. And God says, wow, to you. You have this salah for your life? Come on. It doesn't fit you. That's why we have to think deeply. I am doing something for what? Ultimate aim. For example, you do, let's say, a profession. You do some job. Yeah. What is the ultimate aim of doing this job? To make money? Okay, that's your salah. Why are you making the money? Oh, we have to survive in this world. Oh, that is your ultimate aim is, ultimate purpose of your life is to survive in this world. What is the purpose of existence? To survive in this world and die and become nothing, rot in the grave. Is it the ultimate purpose of your life? Watch out. I am doing something. For example, I don't know, whatever the profession. I am a student. Right? Why are you studying? I have to develop a profession. I have to learn something in order to make my living, right? Because I will be responsible for my life. Maybe in the future, I will be responsible for a family life to support the side. Okay. Is it your ultimate purpose of your life? Why are you taking care of the family? I am not saying you shouldn't, but what is the purpose of taking care of your family? Have you thought? Why are you doing that? Is it the ultimate aim of your life? To make money and die? Why are you doing that? So this ultimate aim to reach is, again, salah. So salah. So it comes from the word, it derives from wasala. Wasala means really to arrive. Now, anyways, so is it your ultimate aim that is worth according to your human capacity? Have you thought about it? We have to question. So, for example, yes, I am going to earn money and or produce something and get some sort of life nutrition, for example. Yeah, in order to live in this world, not to die. Okay. Why are you not wanting to die? What is the purpose in living in this world? A comfortable life until I die? What is the purpose? That's what we have to think where we are trying to arrive at the very end. That is what I call this ultimate aim of your life. Is it worth it? Always ask, I am doing this. Is it worth it as a human being to live in this world? As a human being, not as an animal. Animal live in this world, eat, survive, maybe regenerate, and have some children, and die. Are they expected to aim at something beyond this? But human beings, we have to question yourself. What am I expecting in my life? Eternal happiness. If I live in this world with the consideration that until I will be happy until I die, and then nothing, is it human or is it animal? These are serious questions. Serious questions. Why am I doing? What is the purpose of my existence, my life in this world? So, no. I am a religious person, right? I run a business, but I never miss my salah. Now, ritualistic prayer. I never ever miss my fasting. Do you understand? Never. Okay. Fasting becomes very important. Okay. But I am doing my business. For what? For what? I have to eat something here in order to survive. Why do you want to survive? What is the ultimate aim of your life? But apart from this, as a secondary subject, I pray, I fast, for example. But it is not your ultimate aim of your life. Just this is the religious requirement that you learn from your culture. It is not wrong, but it doesn't give you the ultimate aim for your life. We are cheating ourselves by saying, hey, this I pray. Is it the ultimate aim of your life? What are you doing during the rest of your life a day? What have you been doing during 11 months? Even if you fast, what is the aim of fasting? You have to question. We have to question. Step by step, go into the details of the purpose of my life. That is what we are given. That's why we are given the ability to think the future. What is next? What is next? Is it my ultimate aim of living in this world? Question everything you do. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do. No, a student doesn't mean that, this is not the ultimate aim of my life. To study, to get the degree, for example. Okay, then I shouldn't do it. No, you should do it, but in order to reach the ultimate aim of your life. And you have to establish the ultimate aim of your life. Whatever you do, do it. But what is the ultimate aim? Why do you do that? You have to think about it. What the Quran is really educating us in this matter. Ultimate aim, ultimate aim. Quran doesn't educate us just to survive in this world, because animals can survive in this world better than human beings. They get everything what they want, mostly. Not many animals die because of hunger. Yeah, in the forest, they are always happy, right? Because they don't have any other aim, just to survive. Okay. That's what we have today. Next day, inshallah, next Wednesday, we are going to start the next revealed chapter. You know that we have been studying the Quran by following the chronological revelation, how the Quran builds up, establishes human character, human understanding of reality, step by step, step by step. So it doesn't start from the very beginning that you have to do everything now without realizing why are you doing it. First, we have to define who I am, what I am in this world. And then accordingly, you get support from prayer, from fasting, but in order to reach the ultimate aim of your life. So Quran educates us not in what to do. Quran trains us in why you are doing it. This is the difference. This is the difference. Fiqh side of the religion is what to do, and the Quran is not a fiqh book. It gives some indications, but not detailed at all, very simple indications. You have to pray, but the prayer means a lot. If you don't have, if I don't educate myself in order to understand the meaning of my existence, prayer, fasting becomes nothing. But if I understand something of the meaning of my existence, prayer and fasting or other religious requirements support it in this physical world. So we have to go together. But essentially, the meaning of the purpose of my existence in this world. And Quran gives this training. Hadith narrations are mostly related to practical side. Mostly, not all. Mostly. So you can understand hadith for practical reasons. And you can learn. I didn't say understand. Learn. It was wrong. You learn what to do in this world. You learn, for example, what to do as far as your life is concerned from family tradition, generally speaking. But Quran, no. Quran teaches the reason of your existence, reason of whatever you do in this world. Why do you do that? Inshallah, we will take the Quranic teaching seriously, step by step. Yeah, one by one, we learn something about the teachings of the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين